And they played hard for him. So we'll see how it goes from here on out. Broncos have nothing to lose.
People love Tim Tebow. Let's just put it at that. He's a top jersey seller. I mean, who doesn't like Tim Tebow?
I just think now, like, where would they be if he would have gotten all the reps from the start? That's all I can think about. All right, let's move on now to the Saints-Panthers game. The Saints pulled out a small victory, 30-27 against the Panthers. What do you guys think about that?
All right, well, I did not like the game by the Panthers. I thought they didn't hand the ball off enough, and only 15 carries for a rushing team that got 135 yards off of those 15 carries. You pass the ball too much. Cam Newton is a scam in my eyes. I don't think he is the player for them, and I think their offense would be better run if they were a running team.
Yeah, you know, the Panthers are still a team that's on the bottom of the NFL. They're trying to improve, but they've been grabbing a lot of headlines because of Cam Newton. When you look at Newton's numbers on the season, he's completing under 60% of his passes, 7 touchdowns and 6 picks. He brings a lot of playmaking ability to the field. You got to let him play. See how it goes from here on out. I wouldn't call him Scam Newton, but, you know, he's got some improving to do, as most rookie quarterbacks do. We'll see how he improves. He's got the body and he's got the mindset to be a successful quarterback. We'll just have to see if he's got the toughness to do so. You know, the Saints are a great team, you know, and we got to talk a little bit about them too. I mean, they're a top team in the NFC. Drew Brees is on fire. The Panthers put up a valiant effort, but unfortunately it just was not quite enough. Next, we're going to move on to the New York Giants. And, boy, there's a team that has really struggled out of the gates. Are there big Giant problems in New York?
There's huge problems in New York. Starting off with Manning, you can't win a game when you throw 3 interceptions. Like, there's Manning troubles all over this place right now, not only with him but his brother too. But 3 interceptions, you can't expect to win a game, and the Giants' defense couldn't be any softer.
Yeah, that's a good point. Their third down efficiencies just weren't enough. You've got a 1 for 12 third down efficiency. You're just not getting it done. And there's no run game for this team. This team needs a run game. They need Eli to get them to convert these shorter third downs. And that's how they've had successful years in the past, that's for sure.
Hey, what team gets out of this NFC East? I mean, this is traditionally one of the stronger team divisions in the
Redskins.
It's the stronger divisions in the NFL. Not so much this year. We'll see how it plays out. Next, we're going to move on to another Manning story, this time with the Colts. No Peyton Manning. Does that mean good Andrew Luck for the Colts? Are they in the running here to get Andrew Luck? And if they are, should they or will they take him?
I don't know. I'm liking Manning. Like, this team is just absolutely pathetic without him, and that shows you right there how important this guy is to the Colts. They're 0-5 right now. It's ridiculous, but, you know, if they have the chance, I think they should go for him. Manning's getting up there in age, so, and he would be a good teacher for him. So
I think it's a big pick. I think Manning's getting older in his age, and you know what? They've got to make a move, and if they can get Andrew Luck, more benefit to them. I mean, it would be huge. A big, big learning curve would happen with Peyton Manning. All right, on to our next topic. We've got baseball, playoff baseball, folks. We're going to talk about the NLCS first. All right, I see a Brewers fan right here. Let's see her.
Oh, man. Last night, the Brewers lost to the Cardinals 12-3. And can I say, I'm not a big fan of Sean Markham, but Albert Pujols just had his way with the Brewers. 5 RBIs. The guy was hot. I don't know why they were pitching to him. I had to turn the channel. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you know, it was a very rough game for the Brewers there at Miller Park. St. Louis was able to capture home field advantage back from them. The Brewers, all they have to do really is win 1 in St. Louis to take home field back. But in a long series, I don't think it's that devastating of a loss. It was definitely a great display by Pujols and the rest of the Cardinals offense, but definitely one that the Brewers, I think, can recover from.
I disagree completely. I don't think they can recover from this. I think they've made the mistake of trying to be this bad boy of the North. They've got these players like Niger Morgan, you know, trying to spout off on Twitter with his alter egos or whatnot, and talking about how, you know, yeah, you're no Albert Pujols. Let's put it at that. He's one of the best in the game.
Well,
don't give him more incentive.
I don't think Nigel Morgan's trying to be Albert Pujols. I think he knows who he is and what he is, and he's a character, man. He's a ham. He brings some fun to the clubhouse, and he brings high energy every day. The guy's a hockey player by heart, man.
Guys, it's not just that though.
It's
Granky too. He's talking about Granky just had that comment about Chris Carpenter. Chris Carpenter just took the Phillies out of the playoffs. Let's be real, folks.
Well, Chris Carpenter went 11-9 in the regular season, lost his first postseason game, and then threw one gem. He's a good pitcher, but that one game really has drawn away a lot of negative attention.
Here's the question, though. Who has the ring and who doesn't? How do we establish that?
The Cardinals the Cardinals have the ring,
They have
man,
experience.
But listen,
they have experience.
Everybody hates the Cardinals around baseball. Yep. That's well known. You know, teams really have issues with La Russa.
You don't like Tony La Russa?
Yep, La Russa's a great mind in baseball, but you know what? He's kind of a bad word, man.
Yes.
You know, a lot of guys have respect for the man, but that doesn't mean they like him. The Cardinals are full of a lot of guys that, you know they're the Cardinals. They deserve to be a little arrogant and a little cocky.
I'm just saying the Brewers.
And teams take offense to that.
The Brewers don't need to put a chip on a team's shoulder like that. They're a good team. You don't need to add something to their fire, and I think that they should just shut up.
So we have a game coming up on Wednesday. Giovanni Gallardo's on the mound. What do you guys think is going to happen here? I'm thinking the Brewers, after that pathetic loss, is just going to come back hot and show them up on their own field. But
Chris Carpenter is going to throw possibly one of the best games of his career. I can feel it. You guys watch. It's going to happen.
We'll see how that one goes. I actually don't think the Brewers will win the first game, but I think they'll take one out of the 3 in St. Louis, and this one will be coming back to
Beast mode coming in hot.
The beast mode. Well, as we switch gears to the ALCS, the Rangers took a commanding 2-0 series lead off of the bat of former Brewer Nelson Cruz in extra innings, a grand slam walk-off. Really sees momentum in that one. Do the Rangers win this, or do the Tigers have any chance of coming back?
Well, I just want to make a side note on that grand slam. That's the first time that's ever happened in postseason baseball, which is excellent. I'm rooting for Texas. You know, they're coming out hot, 2-0 on the series. I think they have a solid chance at winning it all, really.
Texas, they're for sure going to win it all. Let's put it at this. They were in the World Series last year. Nelson Cruz, violent swings from that man. That man powered that ball out of the field, and it was amazing. And the Tigers just have too many injuries. I mean, you got Maglio Ordonez, who, okay, maybe he hasn't had the greatest year, but he has playoff experience. And you know what? That does help in the playoffs. Texas, though, I mean, their team is just strong. They've got a good batting team. Their bullpen's strong, and I really just don't see them faltering.
Yeah, those are all great points, man. I mean, first off, with Nelson Cruz, the crazy thing about him, 3 years ago, nobody wanted him. You know,
he's like
Rangers
Ortiz.
Got him as a steal.
David Ortiz.
The Rangers were in the World Series last year, and people say, well, oh, man, they lost Cliff Lee. This team's not going to come back. How do they come back? By losing Cliff Lee. They bolster their offense. They add guys like Adrian Beltre and Mike Napoli at third base and a catcher. Huge boost to this offense. And then look at this bullpen right now. 12 2/3 scoreless frames so far in this series. They've got guys like Alexi Ogando throwing 100 miles per hour, Natali Feliz, and Mike Adams. Just an absolutely unbelievable team. I think they're going to go to the World Series and win it. Let's take a quick break now from Sports Talk Live and check out a PSA from WMCM-TV.
Fact: University of Wisconsin-La Crosse is ranked the #2 college in the Midwest.
UW-La Crosse is ranked #34 for out-of-state students among public universities nationwide.
UW-La Crosse is ranked as one of the most military-friendly schools in the nation.
UW La Crosse is number 24 among medium colleges and universities for Peace Corps volunteers.
Welcome back to Sports Talk Live. Next on our list, we're going to talk about college football, which was just a weekend of blowouts. What were you guys most surprised about?
I think LSU Florida was a big one. I mean, we had blowouts bigger than Pauly D's haircut. Let's put that for real. Oklahoma destroying Texas. I mean, I knew these Oklahoma players were strong watching that Florida State game, which Florida State unfortunately got upset. But yeah, I knew watching these guys. They've got quite the talent for receivers, and yeah, I think they're strong contenders.
There were two games that really stuck out for me. One you just alluded to, Wake Forest defeating Florida State. Here was Florida State. The Seminoles came into the season. Jimbo Fisher had this squad ranked number 5 in the country. It looked like a breakout year for them, and they've really faltered since the beginning. They're now out of the top 25. They may be able to scratch and claw back a little bit for a respectable bowl game, but a disappointing season thus far for the Seminoles. And the second game that kind of surprised me, maybe raised an eyebrow, Ohio State and Nebraska, because Ohio State was up very big in that one in Lincoln, Nebraska. The Cornhuskers eventually came back, but, boy, Ohio State was a team I left for dead, and they showed a little fight out there. Could not get the victory, but good effort by the Buckeyes.
All right, next up on our agenda is our prediction for the BCS title game.
All right, well, I'm going to tell it to you guys first. I think it's going to be Wisconsin and Alabama, and here's why. LSU won't do it. Les Miles is going to make a mistake. It's just bound to happen. He almost screwed it up against Tennessee last year in a big game. And then you've just got all these other teams with such hard schedules, and I just don't see Wisconsin faltering, and I don't see Alabama. I see a lot of experience with their coaching.
What about you, Callie?
I'm definitely going to pick Alabama also and Oklahoma. I'm feeling my favorite is Alabama, but I feel like that would be the best two contention right now, mid-season, looking at that. With their schedule down the line, I feel like those two are the two strongest teams to end up in the title game.
For me right now, looking at it, LSU, the Mad Hatter, will lose to Nick Saban. That will put Alabama at number 1, and Oklahoma will pass a big test at the end of the year against Oklahoma State, and it'll be LSU versus Oklahoma in the national title game. Boise doesn't deserve it. They play a bunch of cupcakes, and they don't improve their academics enough to get accepted into a major conference, so get them out of there. Wisconsin, weak schedule. They're a great team, but they didn't play a tough enough schedule for the pollsters and the BCS pollsters to vote for them. And then Oklahoma State's another team I was looking at, but they'll lose. So I've got national title game, Oklahoma and Alabama.
I really wouldn't mind seeing Wisconsin get in there. That would just make my day, but their schedule isn't tough enough for them to sneak in there.
But there's nothing wrong with another BCS bid, probably a Rose Bowl, one of the more respectable bowls in the country.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, the one thing I had to disagree with the Oklahoma thing. I think they've got Tornado Valley coming up. They've got Kansas State, Texas A&M, Baylor, and Oklahoma State, and I think those teams are just way too difficult for them to play. All right, we're going to wrap it up with a final word. I really just want to state this. NBA lockout. 2 weeks of the season are gone, and it's huge. People, we say people don't watch basketball, but basketball is watched. Everybody wants to see LeBron James fail in the playoffs or fail in the finals or whatever that is. But let's be real. We want to see those Lakers-Celtics rivalries. We want to see all of these things. But with basketball being gone, my question to you folks is, will the NHL have a big impact on this? Will this be good for the NHL? Will more people start watching games like the Wild or, teams that are exciting, the Red Wings? Detroit, the Pistons suck. Let's put it at that. You're going to watch the Red Wings and even these California teams. I want to see people watching hockey. It's an exciting sport. You get hits, riots. The NBA had these little fights, but let's be real. Fights are happening all the time in the NHL, and they've got wonderful fans, and you know what? Watch the NHL.
We'll see if the NHL can take advantage of the NBA being locked out and we'll see what else happens in this upcoming week of sports. And after the weekend, be sure to come to WMCM. Check out the great lineup of sports programs we have, including this one right here, Sports Talk Live. My name is Nick.
And I'm Callie.
And I'm Scott.
And we will hopefully see you soon next time on Sports Talk Live. Thanks for tuning in.
Good on, folks.